Coming from a background in Formula One, Alex Zanardi established himself as a top IndyCar driver as he won the championship in 1997 and 1998. However, an unsuccessful return to Formula One in 1999 that saw him not score a single point meant that Zanardi was back in IndyCar for 2001 with a vengeance. Surely would be a return to form.
Back in Monterrey, Mexico with the Kart FedEx Championship Series, we're trying to figure this out. That's Zanardi, who has an off-course incident just a few seconds ago with Shinji Nakano and drove part of the course way off of the course. And when he came back on, he's been very careful to stay out of everybody else's way. This is the tail end of the situation. There is Shinji Nakano and Zanardi. Zanardi on the right. They locked up, but both of them were able to get going pretty quickly.
Just coming down into turn 5, I think Zanardi had the inside of Shinji. They both turned, wheel-to-wheel contact. Off they went.
Zanardi coming through turns 11, 10, 11. He's going really slow. I'm not sure if he's having a problem with his car or what the case might be, but certainly off the pace.
Well, you have to assume that something broke during that incident, either causing it or as a result of it. And he's just trying to get back to the pits, staying out of the way, if at all possible. Gary Gerald.
He comes in, the engine is still running, and they're changing, obviously, all the tires. Morris Nunn asked Alex, he said, if you're done, click the radio twice, but we couldn't tell. He didn't click it, apparently. He's pointing toward the left front suspension. They're checking it. Now he shuts it down. Visors up. They may be over in the return of the former champion.
You know, up until about 4 laps ago, the top 3 fastest laps in the race were all held by Zanardi. And then suddenly Kenny Breck jumped up as the fastest lap, and then Tracy came back and went into second place, and then Zanardi came back at him with a quick lap as well. But right now, the fastest lap belongs to this man, the pole sitter, man who has led a good deal of the race and is leading again, Kenny Breck. Now, Alex Zanardi is wearing that Hans device. That's what's over his shoulder, and that's part of this whole safety issue in racing that so many people have been talking about. This, hopefully, keeps them from twisting their head in such a way that it causes a terrible fracture at the base of the skull that can very quickly be fatal. Only a couple of the drivers are comfortable using it on road courses because, as you saw when he pulled it off, it does kind of limit your ability to turn your head left and right. Gary Gerald.
Alex Zanardi, you come back. You were remarkably fast on numerous occasions, had the fastest laps of the race. What went wrong?
Lack of patience and a little bit of bad luck together with that, but mainly I should have been more patient. I just wish to apologize to the entire Pioneer WorldCom team, and I guess we have to wait 1 month before the next opportunity to do something good.
Feel good to be back, though?
Yeah, obviously there's ground to cover, both from my side and from the team side. Certainly this is not the kind of start we were looking to have, but now it's part of the past and we got to look forward.
We look forward to seeing you on the streets of Long Beach where you've had success. Thank you.
Thank you.
The lack of patience. Is that the big car's answer to George Bush?
Oh, he's got a long way to catch up to me. I want to clarify, Paul, that was 3,000 times these guys are shifting during the course of the race, not each lap. But very, very difficult for Alex Zanardi. Remember, he set all-time records as champion when he left here in 1998. One of the things is his finishing position. You get 20 points for first, 16 for second. His average finishing points paying position, 15 points per race, which is just unbelievable. Very rare to see this man out of a champ car race.
Back at the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, Alex Zanardi back into the pits again. Next weekend, ABC Sports presents the first major of the Senior PGA Tour season. Last year, Tom Kite captured the victory after 6 sudden death playoff holes. Now he'll defend against Jack Nicklaus, Hale Irwin, and more. The countrywide tradition coverage begins Saturday.
Black flag been displayed to Alex Zanardi, bringing him in.
After 5 races, Zanardi was just 15th in points, and he failed to finish better than 7th at Motegi. Additionally, he failed to lead a single lap.
Oh! And Jourdain Jr. and Zanardi into the barrier. Both of them appear to be all right. Both of them moving in the cockpit.
Yeah, it looks like down in that principal passing area, heading down into turn 3. We've seen cars off here during the course of the weekend. We'll have to see and take a look at exactly what happened, but I can almost tell you for sure we had one driver trying to get down the inside of the other. We'll take a look at it now, see what happened.
brought out the full course caution and the pace car.
Fastest part of the circuit, 190 miles an hour. Jourdain looks down the inside, almost side by side, not quite. Zanardi takes the line. Classic racing incident. Jourdain didn't quite have the corner. Zanardi wasn't going to give it to him. Right rear to left front, both into the tire barriers.
And because it is a principal passing area, as we watch Alex Zanardi climb clear of his car, that little area has bitten more than its share of race cars this weekend. First incident comes on lap 4. It involved Michel Jourdain Jr. and Alex Zanardi. There goes Alex walking that very long walk back to his pits. This is what caused this full course caution.
Jourdain trying to get a run down the inside of Zanardi going into turn 3. Doesn't quite have the pass made. Zanardi takes the line. They make contact into the tire wall.
Both of those drivers did climb out of their cars, though they are okay. Jan Beekes, Alex Zanardi is back in the pits.
Yes, he is. We tracked him down back at the motorhome area. And Alex, I know this has been a tough year for you. What happened at the end of the back straightaway there?
Well, I drove a few laps. I knew with the car I was driving today I was not going to get live TV at the end of it, so I decided to have a crash so I could send my best wishes to Tony Kanaan and get live TV this way, although it's not a very nice way to end up talking to the TV.
It looked to me as though possibly Jourdain didn't get into position. Is that how you feel it came about?
Well, the bottom line is at the end of this situation, you always kind of blame each other, and it's very uncomfortable to say anything about the accident. From my view, I didn't see anybody coming. I knew he was there, but he didn't put a move, and I left a little bit of room, and boom, I heard my and I felt my back going around, and that was it. It's very unfortunate. We had a tough season so far, and I'm not gonna give up, but certainly it's hard because I was expecting different result. And more than that, more than the accident, is really the fact that we were nowhere at the beginning of the race in terms of competitiveness. So we just have to get all together and work very hard and try to find out what was wrong with the car all weekend long, that we couldn't place it up higher.
Thank you, Alex. And again, thanks for your enthusiasm and your good spirit.
And that enthusiasm is why it's so good to see Alex Zanardi back in the series. And the full course caution, I'm going to guess, is going to come out on this. That's Mimo Gidley right there in his first run.
It's Zanardi, and it also looked like Max Wilson at the back there. A little hard to tell. Definitely Zanardi and Gidley.
And that would be back in the back of the field. Gidley replacing Nicholas Manassi, and Tony Kanaan involved as well. Very first lap. Crossed yellow flags out at the start-finish line. We do have a full course caution.
We'll take a look and see what we can do. Back.
Alex Zanardi climbing out. Gidley still in the car, but looking around.
You can see Kanaan got off on the outside. Jourdain's through. Gidley tries to go down the right side as Zanardi goes down the left side, coming onto the back straightaway.
From Mimo Gidley's in-car.
So you can see Kanaan off the left side there. He says, all right, I'll go by this way. And as Zanardi hits the other direction, he clips the back of Kanaan. Takes all three of them out in one shot. Tony Kanaan gets off the outside at turn 7, coming onto the back straightaway. Mimo Gidley will enter on the right side, just starts to get through, makes contact there. Zanardi chooses left. He gets hit as Kanaan's pushed back to the left side. Gidley didn't quite shoot the gap correctly. Zanardi trying to take advantage of both drivers, gets caught up in the accident.
Well, look here, did Kanaan come over too far?
Well, I think he was trying to get off the racing line there, Paul, because the normal line is right where Zanardi exited. And as a result, trying to get 3 cars where only 2 can pass just didn't work.
So
not a good debut for Mimo Gidley.
In incidents so far, Zanardi, Gidley, Kanaan.
10 races into the season, and Zanardi had improved his best finish to a 4th at Toronto. Despite this, he dropped down to 19th place in the point standings.
And look at this, Zanardi is in trouble too. Now, will this bring out the full course caution? You'd think so.
Here's Serbia through the shot. Oh, there goes Zanardi off into the tires. In the following corner, down in turn 7. Okay, now we'll see what happened here. Serbia down the inside. Takagi just locks him up. I think we may have crowned a new king here. I think we've got King Takagi going for us now, Paul.
Well, and you saw Zanardi, he actually came through behind all that. The nose we saw was Serbia. And look at the water on the track. Now, that's a result of hitting the tires. The tires, it rains quite often up here in BC. I think everybody knows that. And the tires at the edge of the course tend to fill with water. And when they hit them, it just creates an enormous spray, a fountain that comes out across the track. So that, too, will have to be addressed under the full cost caution. We're at the 53rd lap of the 100-lap race. Alex Zanardi out of the race now with Jan Beekes.
And we'll find out what happened. It was at the end of the back straightaway. What happened, Alex?
No, it was actually turn 6. I just went to downshift from 4th to 2nd. Got 3rd. I couldn't get into 2nd, and basically when he finally went, I locked the rear wheels, correct the steering to regain control of the car, and ran out of room.
I want to talk about your future. Have you decided what you want to do as far as driving in kart?
Really, quite frankly, I mean, I haven't been thinking about it. I mean, my focus is in trying to finish this season the best way I can. I'm not yet inclined to put everything behind me. And even if I would decide not to race next year, I wouldn't announce a retirement, because my ego is big, but not as big as to want to have attention from the press. I mean, I've always been a racer. That's something that I still believe I'm capable of doing. And I would like to enjoy it more than what I'm doing at the moment, because, you know, it's nobody's fault that right now the situation is such that it's not very enjoyable. I know it takes a leader and it takes a guy in the last place, but certainly at my age, related to my experience in my career, I'm not enjoying the way the things are going right now.
Thank you, Alex.
And for Alex Zanardi, it's his 7th DNF of the year. That's the most of all drivers for DNFs.
And I've been looking at these numbers as Zanardi comes in.
Zanardi's in, you're looking at the numbers, he jumps on the brakes.
Servia can make it to the end. He's got to go 40 laps, but he's been the fuel mileage king today. I'm not so sure about Andretti and the rest, but we know Servia can. So they're looking for Andretti and Servia on their way out. We'll see how this blends in.
Gary, nice stop.
It was 5.3 seconds on my clock. Canons was 6.4. Now they've got to go to work. We're going to head for the Rahal land and see what the story is for Kenny Breck.
Yeah, I would suspect you're going to have to run, Gary, because he's going to be in there fairly quickly. Breck picks up the lead. Oh, and Zanardi, with a terrible crash. Yellow is out. Zanardi coming out in turn 1. Loses control of the car. The rest of the field, look at him slow down. There's debris all over that racetrack.
They'll go down over the curbs if necessary. There's so much carbon fiber on that track everywhere. It'll cut the tires. What we saw is he got T-boned just unbelievably in the front of the tub. It was an enormous hit.
The field completely slowed now. And it will slow with Kenny Breck as the leader of the race. And just 11 laps left to go. We are back under caution. The Lausitz, Germany, the German 500K at the Euro Speedway. A devastating accident involving Alex Tagliani and Alex Zanardi. And there is the very real possibility that this race finishes under yellow because the accident occurring so close to the finish, the track badly littered with debris and rescue efforts going on at both cars. Down at the medical center, Gary Gerald is with Dr. Steve Olvey.
Dr. Stephen Olvey has just come out of the medical center. Doctor, can you give us information relating to both drivers?
Yeah, Gary, Alex Zanardi is extremely critical. He's had severe injuries to both of his lower extremities, has had significant blood loss, but he is responding. He is breathing on his own. So we're sending him to the Berlin Major Trauma Center. Alex Tagliani is awake and alert. He's moving everything. He has only back pain. We think he may have a minor injury to the small of his back. Otherwise, he's okay. They're both going to the same hospital in Berlin.
So both men are being air evac'd at this time?
Correct.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, Zanardi lost both of his legs in the crash. However, he was able to come back to compete in sports and touring car races with the use of prosthetic legs, and Zanardi has become a gold medal athlete at the Paralympic Games. Zanardi would finish 23rd in the final standings with a best start of 5th at Chicago, a best finish of 4th place at Toronto, and 20 laps led.